Your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to listen to this review. This message will self-destruct in 5, 4, 3, 2. Just kidding. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 was enjoyable, but the fact that I'm getting so many Part 1s and not Part 2s bothers me. Though this one at least let me know ahead of time. It started with the Fast and the Furious when it ended, and there's a Part 1, and then we have to wait for another Part 2. Then it went on with Spider-Verse Part 1, and now we have to wait for Part 2. And this one also Part 1 and a Part 2. Now I get it. It's gonna force everyone to come out and watch the second that watched the first one. Understood. And I get the theory behind it, right? If it's a blockbuster, you're gonna make the same or more on the sequel if it hits. If it doesn't, like Dune might not. Dune kind of was a bust, but that could have been because of the pandemic. So we'll see what Part 2 does, but it just leaves me empty. I have a little bit of OCD, so I need stuff to be finished. And this just lets you like, oh my God. Even though in this one, I will say it does kind of come to a conclusion, but again, not really. But other than that, it was an enjoyable movie. The acting was good. We got Tom Cruise running over and over and over again throughout this movie, where the meme comes, where he just runs and runs and runs. The acting was well done, well paced. Though I don't know if this is by design, but if you watch the Fast and the Furious, the 10th installment, X, if you will, they're both shot in Rome. They both take place in similar settings. They both have this train sequence. They both have this over-the-top villain. And they both have the same scenery, if you will. Now, I know that a lot of these movies are floated around through different studios for funding and whatnot. But it took me out of the movie because it felt like a Fast and Furious movie. Maybe because it's a spy genre, but I just chalked this up to the fact that they were both shot in Rome. Where you're like, or even the chase scene in Rome was very similar to the chase scene in Fast and Furious. But maybe it was just me. But all in all, again, I enjoyed it. Everything was fine, but it wasn't like, you know what I mean? Like, and so like leaves you like, oh my God, this was dope. It was just okay. It was well written, well acted, well scored. It was just a good movie. But a lot of people I hear, saying, oh, this is like Top Gun Maverick. Not even close. Not even close. They try to hit on the nostalgia in this movie, but if you haven't seen any of the Mission Impossible movies, you're lost. But if you go into it just with a blank mind, you'll enjoy it, but there'll be a lot of stuff that you miss. You're like, what's going on? Maybe it's just me. For me, this movie gets a B+ rating. But anyways, those are just my thoughts. I would love to hear your thoughts down in the comments. And like always, that's a wrap.